Hi there, this is Derek Shumway. I'm your host here on the DollarProbs Startup Company podcast. I'm joined here with my one and only intern, Matt.
Hey guys, it's Matt again. Good to be back again.
And today is Thursday, September 17th, 2020, and we were meeting a little bit earlier this week. It's 1, so we're like a little bit further behind. But anyways, we've had a great week, I think. We're doing some interesting stuff this week. We're actually going to start to try to make the gears turn and see if we can get this company up off the ground here. And so this past week, we've been looking at pricing for LED light bulbs. You know, I just realized also I wanted to tell you, Matt, that what we're doing is we are doing retail arbitrage. Have you ever heard of that before?
No, I haven't heard
Okay.
of that before.
I'll have to send some stuff over and have you look into it because there's a whole world about what we're doing and stuff where people go to retail stores like Walmart and Target and they snap up all this inventory and they just regurgitate it and resell it on Amazon. There's books and tons of articles written on like Amazon arbitrage and Walmart arbitrage where it's these crazy success stories of people who found something on Walmart, bought it, and sold it for more money on Amazon. So, okay, we're actually going to look into that and stuff because, well, I mean, that is what we're doing and stuff. So, so the official term of what this business is doing, I suppose, our business model is under the retail arbitrage model. So we'll look into that this next week, I realize too. So Matt today is going to explain to us here the insights that he learned from researching light bulbs and finding out where we can buy them, how much they cost, and helping us make a recommendation decision here together, two of us, on what we should do to move forward here. So I'm going to let him talk about that now and share with us.
So this past couple of weeks, I've been researching just the prices of different LED light bulbs on different websites and at different stores and just seeing what the best prices we could get them for and whether we'd ship them or not or be able to pick them up in store and looking at options as far as long-term where we could have a long-term option of shipping and have a constant supply and also a short-term supply where if we needed to, we could run to a store for a customer of ours and grab light bulbs in a day or even a couple hours for them. So that's where I've been at. And I've put together an Excel sheet, and unfortunately our viewers won't be able to see this. But
it's a beautiful Excel sheet.
Yeah, I did the whole color scheme to match DollarProbs, put the logo at the top. It looks great as far as looks go.
And you have the filters, and that's what I like too. So then we can filter stuff and organize it.
Yeah, and so I put filters and then just organized it by like store where you can get it, what brand of light bulb it is, the lumens and the watt equivalent of the LED light bulbs, the number of the package or the number of light bulbs in the package, cost per light bulb, and then some shipping costs dependent on where we're getting it from. So we're able to sort it through that and then just find our cheapest option through that way and kind of decide to where to go from there. So that's kind of the insights I've had there.
Well, let's go through. Okay, I'm seeing it's obvious, and I'm glad to see here that it's Walmart, by no surprise, is our cheapest one, right?
Yeah.
That's the cheapest one. Then we go down to 1000bulbs.com and Amazon. I'm surprised that 1000 bulbs you could find it better than Amazon and stuff because I think everyone thinks you can't beat Amazon, which is true in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, okay, so.
And then even with that, that's just the price per on that. Like even with the shipping costs, it looks like 1000 bulbs would end up being more than Amazon. And even interesting enough, looking back on some of the light bulbs I already found and put on here, some of the prices had already changed on Amazon. And so that was something that's like an insight I had is that it's going to be, prices are going to be constantly changing, maybe not by much, but they did even just in the past couple of weeks. One of the prices on the light bulbs changed for Amazon. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. And
yeah, I would suspect Amazon changes more often than maybe some of these others, what I would predict. Let's go through these totals here. Let's go through just the first 2 or 3 options of just the cost per bulb and then compare it with the last 3 just to read out the numbers and stuff so we can see what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so the first 3 options, we've got Walmart, it's about 83 cents per bulb. And then there's two options from 1000bulbs.com where we could ship it in, and it was 94 cents for one and then 99 cents for the other. So our top three options are under $1. And then going down and looking at the bottom, just to kind of get a comparison, we've got a couple light bulbs from Lowe's, and the most expensive one was $2.87. And then there's one from Alibaba, which we'll talk about a little later as well. That one was $2.50 per bulb, and then another one from Lowe's that was $2.13. Quite the difference from our cheapest.
It's like what, 2-3 times almost?
Yeah.
Between the cheapest and the most expensive there. And I realized, I thought, okay, so if we're starting off with like great value bulbs, which is I think what we would do there, then I was looking at Walmart.com on their like, I don't know if it's a grocery website, but just if you were to go like pick it up or have them deliver it to you to your car or something. So it's 83 cents a bulb, and I did verify I saw that because I looked up after and stuff. And then like shipping, let's see, so it was $9.97 for a pack of 12. 60 watt bulbs, 800 lumens there. And then like after tax, I think it was like 10 something. It was like 1075 or 1063. And then if you divide that by the 12 and stuff, then it was still actually underneath the dollar. So I think it was like what? Because it's like 7 cents, 7.5 cents for the tax per dollar. So it was still like 92 cents per bulb, which is great because our goal is $1 or under per bulb. And then I realized, okay, so there are some where it is $1 under, like these 1000 bulbs, or even Amazon. You've listed here a couple options. There's like $1 there. But then after you do shipping and stuff, then it would be maybe a few more cents. But then if you have like, the $25 or more for Amazon, then it's free. So, but then it would still be more expensive than the Walmart by maybe 5-10 cents or something like that there. So that was something good that I remember to keep in mind. And then I also realized it's good to have the super expensive options too. Like what you found at Lowe's and other options with Walmart with other bigger brands like Sylvania and the GE Basics there and stuff. Because then I thought, well, maybe is it too complicated, like split things where you have like the great value thing, and if someone's like, you're like, hey, like, do you want to buy these, dollar great value bulbs? And like, well, I'd rather have something more higher brand, like something that I'm more familiar with, like Philips or Sylvania and stuff there. And I thought, okay, then maybe that's where you could have like an option, say, well, if you really want like a better name brand, then here's a Sylvania bulb. We've all heard of Sylvania, and then you would have to, I guess, charge the right proportion higher above that to make up for the cost. So it might be good to have, I thought, maybe like one more expensive bulb on top of the great value, because I think what it might be is just between great value and one other stuff. So the cheap option that we'd try to push, and if maybe there was a pushback and someone wanted like something bigger and better and perceived to be better quality, then we'd have, okay, well then if you want to pay double the price, then here's this other bulb and stuff. So, but that's great. I appreciate you showing that there. So that's good there. So I also thought that it would probably be good here, Matt, to split, because there's a couple Walmart options. I thought if it seems that Walmart might be the cheapest, but then I guess, well, these are all round bulbs, I'm assuming. These are the standard round bulbs that you put in like a lamp. Oh, the LED floodlights. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that and stuff there. I wasn't even paying attention there, but I'm glad you have that. Oh, yes, explain that there. I didn't see that. I was looking at everything else. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, so okay. There's 2 different tabs on this sheet.
That's good.
LED lights, like maybe more for outdoors, the porch, some of the kitchen, like recessed lightings, some lamps, kind of just different options for those. But we wanted to get both of those options just so that we don't just have the round bulbs, we also have the flood ones as well. So we've got that option here, and those are a little more expensive. Our cheapest option, taking shipping out of the equation, was from 1000 bulbs, and those were about $1.59 per bulb. And then the most expensive looks like from one of the more expensive ones was from Walmart, and it was about $2.80 per bulb. So those are a little more expensive option than just the classic.
Okay, so this is interesting. We'll figure this out here, Steph. The first 3 options are 1000 bulbs, like you said, and the cost per bulb is like $1.59 to $3.67. Oh, in this range here, but let me filter this to do what can we sort by? Filtered by values there. Well, let's see. Okay. Okay, so sorry, it's $1.59 to $2.46. So here's what I wonder is, even though we might see that some of these Walmart options are more expensive, like $2.80 a bulb or $2.46, we could essentially wipe out the shipping cost because there's like the free pickup. Or we can just march in the store and just grab it and walk out and not pay $13 in shipping. So I'm trying to figure out the calculation. If we compare a pack of 6 or something like, well, let's see, was it, well, this is 1 bulb per package. So there were 2 that I was looking at, like this Walmart 6, and let's see, that was, oh, okay, and this one. Okay, so if we compare these 2, so this is a Walmart Hypericon versus the 1000 bulbs PLT, which I've never heard of those, but then I suspect consumers might be okay with not knowing that. So it's like obvious that per bulb Walmart's cheaper, but if you don't have to pay for shipping, I think, wouldn't that still be cheaper in the end if you don't have to ship this from somewhere, from 1000 bulbs? Because I don't think they have stores anywhere nearby. I think they're just an online seller, and they might have something. So that'll be something to consider. I think, honestly, I think on like in the end that Walmart would probably be the cheapest and stuff, because we could win on shipping and not have to pay to ship it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That's good to keep in. We'll have to do some more crunch on that, but I think that's what we'll probably go towards is getting a stock of these 83-cent bulbs, the normal bulbs at Walmart, and the whatever the true cheapest one is from the floodlights, which and I guess if 1000 bulbs has like a buy $20 or $50 worth of bulbs, then it's free shipping. Okay, well then that would make sense then. But if not, then it must either be Walmart or the stores that we can go to, is what it looks like. And then also with Amazon, they've got the free shipping if it's like $25. So we know we could have $0 in shipping on that. But it's still good to know that it would cost that if we didn't make a big order like that. So there are definitely some nuances here with what we think could work out, I suppose, you know. Okay, so after that, what was next here? So we've gone over those, the LED pricing.
I can go over that Alibaba.
Okay, let's talk about that here. So explain what that was, and well, okay, so the purpose of it, why we want to do Alibaba again. Do you want to explain that again?
Yeah, so we just thought it'd be interesting to look into like getting our own source of light bulbs, and then specifically with Alibaba, a lot of them are customizable. So we thought it'd be good to look at like how much it would cost to get our own source, and then also be able to put a logo on it. So put like the DollarProbs logo on the light bulb. That way we have our own light bulbs.
Or at least maybe the packaging, I thought too over last week, like a green box or something. But yeah. Sorry, keep on going there.
No worries, yeah. So just kind of our own thing, our own packaging or light bulb logo on there. And so I looked on Alibaba, just so that would probably be our best option. And like the customizable light bulbs, even like packaging or the lights itself, putting the logo, there's like a minimum order of 500 light bulbs.
That's a lot. That's a lot of light bulbs.
Yeah, and then it was $2.50 per light bulb.
Okay.
And so that adds
That's
up
at least $1,000 there. We're talking.
And then it didn't give me an exact shipping cost with that large of a quantity. It said it would be to be determined.
Oh, really?
Go down that rabbit hole. But just looking on Alibaba, like in general on their shipping, it was pretty expensive. Like for that large of an order, it was like $700-800 for shipping.
Oh, really? That much? Like, well, then, surely there must be something else than an alternative than $800 in shipping.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how to get around that or what are the options. And I didn't go deep down the rabbit hole there on like shipping costs from Alibaba. But
okay, now we'll have to look in that deeper, because then I thought, well, maybe. Also, I thought it's really hard to put your logo on a light bulb. I thought, because it's not like. Then I got panicked thinking, what if we printed something on the actual bulb, but then it burns off whenever it causes a fire?
Yeah.
Or if it's a sticker you just put over the bulb, can you do that? Like print them out on a label thing? Well, that sounds homely and kind of like MacGyver styled. But also I thought that might start a fire. It's like I don't want to like cause a fire in someone's home for a faulty label.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, somehow there'd have to be a way, even if it was just a plain bulb, but like the packaging, some just plain green box with a DollarProbs thing on it that was super low key and stuff. Maybe that might work to help. So I guess the idea is, okay, if we can push out and do this retail arbitrage with cheap light bulbs, the great value, just reselling, the stuff that you can buy at the store like anyone else would do. And then if you can build up money from that to afford to try to launch it into your own light bulb actual brand, So you actually can say, I have a true DollarProbs product and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's like your label, but then again, I'm like, well, what company doesn't sell something that they didn't make from 15 other manufacturers before they put their logo on it at the end and shipped it out? So we'll put that probably on the back burner, the Alibaba thing. Well, I don't know. If there's time and stuff, we'll have you go into that there. But I think it would be best, and I'll get your ideas on this, to start off with just figuring out for sure, just focus on the Walmart stuff then. And if we deduct through shipping costs and stuff there, one other source that we should consider. If it is cheaper, then we can try that. But I would think Walmart is probably the safest then, just to do that. And that's where it's hard, because then, if you're certainly selling a great value brand, people are like, well, I know this shouldn't cost that much. But then, like, they might not probably do the research to, like, actually, get on their phone and Google it up or go to the store and stuff. They might, and they could anytime. But I guess we're hoping that they won't do the research. I mean, I don't know if does that sound bad or not? Like,
No, I don't think so.
to say, okay, we bought this bulb for 83 cents. We're going to sell it to you for $3, 3 or 4 times more, and hope that you don't look at the real price of it. But then again, it is a convenience factor, because one might say, well, now you're just ripping us off, paying, charging us 3 or 4 times the price. But then it's like, but we'll just deliver it to you, and you don't have to, go get it yourself. And but then they could also say, well, I can do it myself, but then we just have to figure out ways to keep answering to those. Well, maybe we don't charge you shipping. It's just the bulb and stuff and everything. We'll just drop it off to your house, in person. I don't know. It's a very local person interacting, very more of a face-to-face business. I don't know. You have more people interaction in it. So I guess it's like a mom and pop business, So, but that's what we're hoping. And then I thought down the road too, especially next week and stuff when we start, maybe we ought to get it so that if we can get a cheaper website, like a Shopify website. Do you have any experience in that? Have you heard of that? So, and just set up like a mini shipping thing and stuff, and see if that might persuade people and make it super easy, where it's just like 3 types of bulbs, and that's it. Where it's like the cheap bulbs, the cheap floodlights, and then the 2 more expensive options for those people that have higher tastes in life, and just keep it at that, rather than on like Home Depot where there's like 25 pages of different light bulbs. That's pretty overwhelming for the consumer. But I mean, this is high thinking, where it's like, oh yeah, like we just want a beautiful website that just has like 4 options and that's it. And that might actually be something we can fulfill and ship out and stuff. So yeah, I think we're going to try into that. So I'll have to look into it and then send some stuff down to see how it goes there. But I think if we could start off trying to sell them by hand, and then diverge from selling in hand into, getting a website up and going, and then from website up and going, maybe using the funds from that to look into that Alibaba stuff, or somehow printing your own bulbs. So it's like by hand, what was the second one? What did I just lost my train of thought. So by hand, the website, and then our own brand. So that's like 3 phases there.
Yeah.
So anyways, okay. So yeah, that's what you found on Alibaba, which is good stuff. So the shipping, I don't know how to get past that if it truly is expensive. And they have high minimum. So that would be, okay, it might be cheaper just to go find a graphic designer friend that could just print you a box or something, a small marketing ad agency, or just a friend that does it who's really good on Photoshop or something. So I know a couple people like that we can look into. So yeah, that's great. I like that there. So the next thing here was to talk about a podcast there. There was some new stuff about Amazon, so I'll share that and stuff, but does everything look good on the podcast and stuff, the platforms and stuff?
I went and looked at all the platforms. We have it out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube. So we figured all that out, and they're all out there. On the YouTube, it was coming across as 2 videos when it was a longer podcast.
Yes.
And they figured out how to get us verified so we don't have to do that. So now they are single videos on YouTube, easy to listen to there. Everything looks clean. Everything looks good on all of our podcast platforms.
Okay, that's good there.
Spreaker is our main one.
Yeah, Spreaker is the one that makes us money and stuff, our famous 2 pennies per view impression stuff. But I have a plan there. So this was a goal I wanted to make there is, what do you think we should make as a revenue goal for our podcast and stuff there? We're at 45 cents when I checked it the last time, and I checked a few days ago, it was still like 45. So maybe I haven't shared it with anyone really. It's pretty unknown. So maybe we're just talking to the wall here sometimes, But I thought, okay, let's make a little tiny goal, like a little minuscule revenue goal for our podcast to help get the word out, to spread the word. And so I wanted to see what you thought. So my proposal was, what if we started with a goal of making 10 cents a week on it, which would be at least 10 impressions, 5 friends each, or and then I thought if I maybe shared it you don't have to do this on your personal thing, but on mine I would do this and stuff. Well, we would do it on social media, so that because this podcast is not shared on social media yet at all. So I thought, okay, if I had 1 week where I posted on my Facebook and we pushed it out to all of our social media platforms, I thought maybe it could make more than 10 cents, probably, maybe 20 cents, but maybe no more than that, probably. And that would be a good week. And then, so that, that's like one goal. So I don't know, that's what I was thinking. It's like, what do you think? And I guess this would be in cents, unless we're so lofty and you have such faith that this would be like $1 a week, which would be fantastic. And I guess not that this is to make money, to be rich, because it's obviously not going to be like that, but as a means to help keep push this out and to show that we're trying to get other people involved in it. So I thought 10 cents, but I wanted to ask you and see what you thought might be reasonable, or what your thoughts are on what we could do for that. A revenue goal for podcasts.
Yeah, no, I think 10 cents sounds good. I mean, we've made 45 cents off of 2 podcasts.
That's like, 22 cents?
Yeah, so I think a good goal would be 10 cents per week.
Okay.
That way we can, if you share it on your social media, we put it out on the social media platforms we already have. Hopefully at least 10 people will listen to it.
Oh yeah, and the other thing I realized too is now I realize the power of why we can slide the ads around on it, so they're not just at the beginning, is because it'll confuse people. I shared it with some people, and it confused them, the ads. They thought that was us or me, and I was like, oh no, that's just the ad. But then that turns people off pretty fast. So then I was like, oh, I forgot to do it today. So, well, maybe we might put it in the middle because we're only halfway through here. But maybe this might be a lost week this week, and I'll slide it somewhere randomly in the middle. But there, if we just, in our introduction, I just totally forgot this. I wrote this down to talk about this with you, but I forgot. I got too nervous and stuff at the beginning. But if we just do our intro and then 20 seconds of the podcast say, oh, and by the way, just so you know, an ad is going to cut in and play any second now. And then that's when we put the ad in. So then we've already got people who can listen and know the ads when it comes, so they're not alarmed or turned off by it. And we'll just ask them to keep the podcast running because we'll start talking after. And that might actually keep the rate on.
Yeah, instead of having the ad at the beginning, people stop listening right away.
So I thought that would be good just to hide the ad just a couple seconds into it and let them know it's going to come, and then ask them kindly at the end to listen to the ad, to let it play through the end too, because then that's how we would get some money too there. So if they play the ads, if the ads play in full. Oh, I'm so sad that we didn't do that there. So we're going to do that next week. Remind me if I forget. You got to be like, okay, we got to put in our little ad disclaimer so they can listen to that next week. Because we'll slide it through and make that better. And it'll improve our podcast there. So we'll have a goal of 10 cents. Now next week, we also have exciting news because hopefully, I'm assuming that I had a last minute intern apply. And he applied and I contacted back and said, yesterday was like the ad drop deadline, and I'm not sure about if this will actually work because it's quite late into the semester. I know that they hire like you can do it 2 weeks up into it, but I said, if you can contact UVU and get it taken care of, and if they'll let you do it, then I'll, let you join and stuff there. And he did. His name's Adam. And I told him about this podcast already. I said, well, there's a podcast. So that's kind of what our meetings are each week. And he's gone out of town this week, but I'm going to catch him up and figure some stuff out for next week so he can join us. So next week we'll have a third person. And with that, then maybe after maybe 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks of our 10-cent goal, maybe we can triple that to 30 cents.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing to have a company that can triple its revenue in 3 weeks, But obviously there's not money in the podcast. It's in our light bulbs. That's what we want to do. Okay, so let's go about our social media stuff here. So talk about, you were supposed to, look through some stuff about ideas on how to post about light bulbs on our Instagram and Facebook and our viral Pinterest, which still has 90,000 impressions and visits each month for some odd reason. Yeah, our Twitter only has 4 people that are following us, and half of them are the interns from the previous semesters. So walk us through that, Tier Matt.
Yeah, so I think we talked about this a little bit on social media a couple weeks ago. So just some ideas. Really, we haven't on any of the platforms, social media platforms, posted anything about the light bulb business that's DollarProbs now is. And so that's kind of the first step this week is to get that name out there and get kind of what we're doing out there so that our followers know and can follow that. And then just some ideas. I've compiled some pictures and I just found them on Pixabay, just a website with some
and I like pictures. Pixabay, but there's a lot of other websites too. So
that's where I kind of started and just found some pictures of light bulbs, kind of some innovative ones with light bulbs, some with people having ideas and they have a light bulb above their head. So kind of just pictures of light bulbs in different forms, one way or another. And then really just the ideas I've had so far would just be posting about facts of LEDs and why you should switch to LED and how you can save money using LEDs.
So have you compiled those or saved them? I'm guessing you probably saved them or something there so you know where they are.
Yeah, I have a drive saved. I can pull that up.
Okay, that's super good. I like all of that so far because I'm not sure what else you could do with light bulbs in that. But what you've said though about finding pictures of ideas and innovative stuff there, and also the facts too to help educate. That's good too. So we have got fun little inspiration posts, but also facts to help show oh, this is actually worth something. So maybe show me a couple of them, just why you like them there.
A few of the pictures, just light bulbs in general.
There's a bunch of light bulb pictures here, people. So there we go. Yes, I've seen that one. That's a common one that's used, which is good. There's so many captions that could be used with these light bulbs here. That's good. I like that. So there you go. You think of it, you got one picture equals one post, obviously, and it can be a cookie cutter across the board and stuff there. Say one for Instagram that day, then the next picture. So if you got 7 pictures, that's 7 days of post there. 7 facts, that's 7 facts, and you can alternate between the fact day and tomorrow is just a fun whatever and stuff there. So I like that. That's good to have our social media plan there. We've got 2 DollarProbs pages, the DollarProbs and the DollarProbs.com, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Pinterest, and that's all for now and stuff. So one thing I wanted to, so I'll go over this for this next week. This is what we're going to work on and figure out for this next week about social media is our goal for next week's podcast, next week's meeting too, is we want to confirm what do we want to actually buy for the light bulbs, which ones, and then in terms of buying, I thought, okay, I can buy it on my personal Amazon or whatever Walmart account and stuff there, and then we'll get them shipped and we'll just have a small little inventory to try and sell. Our budget is $200 there, and I was going to show you too, Matt. I invested our money and stuff, and not that this is all the money we have because I could just transfer more, But earlier I had put aside $200 and invested it, and I think it's grown to, this will tell us now, 202. So I'm super sad about that because like a week ago it was like 250. Like, wow, we had an extra $50. Well, our good friends at Apple have not treated us very well and stuff in the last like week or so. That was the high point. That's where our money was. So I guess you can say our money is liquid. It's moving around. Um, but I think we'll only buy maybe not a full 200, maybe just like maybe $100 worth of bulbs. Especially because it's so easy to get them. Maybe from Walmart, we don't have to feel pressure to buy more than that. But we'll have a small mini, probably about $100 worth of bulbs. So that I guess that might be 100 bulbs. That's what we'll start off with. And then we'll just wait, because then we have a small inventory. But then we're going to have to look into how we want to go about selling these and stuff there. I thought, I've said this before, I think it'd be good to practice and just spend maybe for kicks and giggles to spend like an hour or two in the week together just to try it, like visiting people and stuff, like a random, like, go back to the mission experience door knocking, as boring or as exciting as that sounds, just to see what it's like. But then I thought I think the more efficient way, at least right now, is if you got like a phone book and we just called like down the pages. Of course, any other ways or ideas that you thought of would be great too, and we would try those. I'd be more than happy we can try and do that there. I thought it might be just to figure out how we can contact landlords, because that's where I'd be like, oh yeah, like landlords, and then we can split it up. So like, it's like, okay, like here's a list for you and me. We're each gonna do like X amount of home calls, X amount of apartment landlord management calls to see if we can reach them to sell light bulbs, and we'll have a script, or we'll figure that out too. And then a little bit of in-person visiting, and then we'll just kind of experience that from there. And if we make one sale, it should be that we should recuperate the cost from that one sale, in that one transaction. And then posting on social media. This is what I put in here for the next week to look at here. Where is it? So I have 2 posts I thought would be good for you to post, just the first 2. So do you feel like you might be able to post this first week? This next week, look at your week ahead. Do you think you'd be okay? You'd have the time to post once a day, so use up a full 7 pictures across the platforms?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that this first week. The first 2 days are taken care of. I thought here is a post, a pre-made post that you can post on Friday, starting tomorrow. And then one on Tuesday next week. And then on the other days, you'll use your other stuff there. But these are, the Friday's one to like introduce. This says, DollarProbs spent the summer of Rona turning into an LED light bulb company. We will happily deliver bright, happy, and clean LED lights. That's redundant there, I just realized, but maybe it might show our enthusiasm. Here are all our grandiose plans on our podcast. And the reason why I put that link there was to help us hit our 10-cent revenue goal, because people arbitrarily click on that probably and check it, and at least we'll get an impression if they don't listen to it. So we've got 2 cents for clicking on it, even if they don't listen to it. So I thought that's more of a revenue attempt making move. And then reminding people on Tuesday, hey, we're doing this again. And then in between, you'll fill in with your facts or your inspiration. You can choose on that. But I think it'd be good this next week to reactivate our social accounts and post once a week. Once a day on each one. So you can use the same one for this one on Friday would be on all of them. And, just like your other posts, the same one for all of them. But just a different one each day across all the boards. So that will be a task for this week here that would be good to get our stuff going. And I am hoping we will surpass our 10-cent goal. But we might not, so I hope we do. We'll see. This is up in the air, kind of. And also why I wanted it to be on the Friday and the Tuesday is because I myself on my Facebook will post some stuff too. I'll post something about it to help in between, kind of like be middle peak boosters on top of what you're posting. So this will kind of tie, because a lot of people on my Facebook stuff know that I do this stuff, so then they can see that too. So maybe we might get like a good boost this week. And then what I'm worried though is the week after and the week after and the week after, will we still be able to sustain something? Because we'll see a big bump, but it'll probably taper back down. So we got to figure out how can we keep this going, and let's, be active on social media. So that's the schedule for social media posts. And what are your thoughts on like figuring out? So we've got some big stuff this week. This is basically, I guess we should narrow it down and figure out what are the exact like 2 light bulbs we should find: the floodlights and the normal round ones. Because the floodlights are ones for the patios and whatever it is, but can lights in their houses and the hallways. So yeah, let's do that. I guess if we can calculate, let's see. Well, no, we're doing it between like the bulbs and the floods. So maybe it should be, if we're setting an arbitrary budget of $100, so 100 light bulbs. Let's split it. So 50 pointy bulbs. 50, what are they, just the normal bulbs?
Yeah, just
50 normal bulbs, the round bulbs. You're right, the round bulbs, and 50 floodlights. We know that the 50 are going to be from Walmart. We know that the 50 will be, I think, is it Walmart, or maybe if it's another place. If you can confirm the price on that and say, okay, here it is, 50 of these, it'll cost us this, and 50 of these, it'll cost us this, put it in some sheet there, and then I'll know, okay, that's what it'll cost. And then we'll figure out who should go buy them or something, or how we can buy them and stuff. Maybe I can just go buy them, or maybe if you want to buy them, I'll just give you my credit card and you go buy them and do the self-checkout or something there. And we'll have that. And then I hope having inventory will help put pressure on us that like, oh, now we got something, we spent money, we got to actually get these out of here and stuff. Maybe like, I think it'd be good if you hold on to half of them and I hold on half of them, so we can like look at them and like have them stare at us all day. Have some accountability. And then we'll figure out this week. We'll all have some ideas, but then have you put some ideas on how we can split what we think the ways to sell and stuff. How do you feel about that so far? Is that like ideas or concerns or positives or anything in between?
No,
or thoughts about it, observations, anything?
That sounds doable. So.
Okay. So we'll do that there. I think we'll have to make up some lists, I guess, in like Excel on like with the GIS mapping stuff, the geography stuff, where it's like, I don't know, like if we could find just a phone book or something. If you can find 2 phone books, one for you and one for me of the same kind of some area, I guess we could start in Provo, Orem area or whatever it is, American Fork, Pleasant Grove. But if we can find 2 phones, I don't know where we find one. But if not, then we'll have to just find an online directory. I guess maybe there might exist. I guess because we'll just have to organize it with like the management. Like, I don't know. I just want to do everything at once. But I know we have to space this out and figure this out here. I guess we should spend maybe maybe next week for the next, not this next 7 days, but the 7 days after that is where we could probably start we could spend like an hour and a half together and maybe visit residential, like find some random neighborhood. Okay, maybe not random, but we'll figure it out, like map it out, try that. And then that would be it for that week, like 1 hour a week. And then it's going to be cold too. And I don't want us to be on the cold really, unless you want to. And then we'll like start trying to just do, I guess it sounds like cold calling, but we would try that. And then as we advertise also, the social media would evolve to like, maybe if it's up in time with a little tiny, easy selling website to, try and sell online as well. Yeah. So how does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds doable.
Is it making sense here with everything that's going on that I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
I mean, like, I get confused. Like, I have to tell you, like, earlier this week, I was up till like 2 in the morning because I was laying in bed, like, couldn't stop thinking about this. I had all these ideas. I was like, oh my gosh, we should do this and this and this and this and this. And I didn't write them all down. I just kind of, like life happens. Then you wake up the next morning and you're like, what the heck am I doing? Like, why am I even doing, so I think that sounds good. So we've got that stuff laid out, the social media schedule for this upcoming week. We can start posting. You can start posting tonight if you want there. And we'll just post once a day. And you got 2 of those posts. You just have to send pictures to them. and then we're going to figure out 50 bulbs for each type and post that into Google somewhere. You can do it on your own thing and just upload it after or whatever. And then with buying and stuff, what do you think would be the best time for like the best way of doing that and stuff? Do you want to like buy 50 and I'll just buy 50 or something? Or how do you think? I don't know, with like your schedule and when might you have time to go buy bulbs if you look at your schedule, or how we should do that?
I mean, I don't have a crazy schedule. I mean, so I could go like Saturday or Tuesday would be like my free days where I could buy some.
Okay.
But
I mean, okay, so if you do you still remember how you could find like the floodlights one stuff? Okay. If you want to buy the 50 floodlights, I'll buy 50 of the normal round ones and we'll keep those. We'll hang on to those.
Okay.
So let's do that. And for payment, do you think you want to do it online and ship it to you? I don't know. Do you live with roommates and stuff? Do you ship? I don't know if you well, you probably don't want to ship 50 packages and stuff. But maybe, I guess, because 50 is not a ton, because that's just like 4 or 5 boxes.
yeah.
So whether you ship it to your place or wherever you want, or if you just go buy it in person on the way to groceries or something, just buy 5 boxes and stuff, I'll probably just go to the store and buy them in person and stuff there, since I'm assuming they'll be there. So let's do that, and then I'll either like give you a credit card, or like after this ends, so I'll give you a credit card for this week, or I guess I'll send you the information so that you can do it online. We'll talk about that after and stuff. But yeah, so we're gonna buy 100 light bulbs this week, and we're going to figure out our plan to hurry and try to start contacting people just to see what it's like. It'll be maybe a crazy week the week after with the third intern hopefully there, and we'll go from there to see what's going on and get into it. And then maybe in about 3 or 4 weeks, if it goes well, I also thought if you find, well, I'll have to sign this for the week after and stuff, but into the retail arbitrage stuff there, I thought it might be good to work with the other intern and find like maybe 3 items that we could also do retail arbitrage on. So we're doing light bulbs as one, but maybe there's some other little household item or something that you could, because you can create these Amazon sellers accounts, and if you buy up your inventory, then you can ship it to their warehouse, and then as it's set up on your Amazon account, if someone buys it, then Amazon ships it out. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's how people do it and stuff. It sounds super complicated, I'm sure it is, but then I'm like, oh, it's probably not that hard that we couldn't learn.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we can like buy all sorts of things at Walmart and then sell it on Amazon with a business account on top of light bulbs. So I don't know, maybe expand our product portfolio. But then I was like, well, we got to focus on light bulbs first just to see, But if you come across another like item or two, think, oh, this might pair well with a light bulb, then we could, do that and look into it. Maybe I'll have the other intern this next week look into the Amazon stuff there too, or the light bulb stuff there, and then we'll still like converge and stuff. So,
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think that's good there. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up? Other questions? I can't think of anything else. It sounds pretty good for the week to come.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good to me. I don't have any questions.
All right. So, tell us one thing here at the very end. If there's anyone listening at this point, in the future when this is up here, tell us probably like the most. Tell me about your favorite class so far this week that you've had, or this year that you like, and then share. See, you already shared one of your favorite foods, didn't you? Yeah. Share us one of your favorite drinks. And I'll go first if you want to give you some time, or do you want to? Okay, well, I'll tell you what here. One of my favorite drinks is like a chocolate milkshake. I love chocolate milkshakes. I don't know if that's a drink. It's really not a drink. A fruit punch, though, I love. And, okay, now you can go.
Yeah, one of my favorite drinks, just from Walmart, like the Clear American, like carbonated flavored water.
Like weird, the LaCroix stuff? Kind of like that?
Kind of like that, yeah.
Or Perrier?
Yeah, it's similar to those. It's just like the Walmart brand of it. And it sounds weird. And some
that does sound weird to me.
But I think they're really good.
That does sound weird to me. I have tried carbonated water, and I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like Sprite, right? Maybe. Because it's good. But then, like, I don't know. Something about it makes me like, Okay, what about your class and stuff? Because you are busy here. Oh, I guess we're out of time. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys next week. So enjoy this ad that will play. Please listen to it, and we'll see you next week.